Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to a new video. I have a fun one today for you guys. I recently picked up the e.l.f. brow lift. It's a clear brow gel that comes in a pot and looks super similar to the ABH brow freeze, which is a product that I've been using for about 6 months now and really have fallen in love with. So I thought it would be really fun to use one on each brow and just compare the two of them because the price difference between these is astronomical, and if this e.l.f. product works the same as this ABH product, I feel like that is going to be huge. As you can see, I have mostly all of my makeup on except for my eyebrows. So let's just go ahead and fill in my brows the same way that I've been doing it every day for the last 7-8 months. We'll do it the same way on both sides and compare, and then I will wear the product throughout the day and we'll come back at the end of the night and just compare longevity, how things lasted, some final thoughts, all of that stuff. When I picked up the e.l.f. brow lift, I also picked up this little brush from e.l.f., which I love. Before I used this, I was just using little disposable mascara wands, and I feel like this works so much better. It's so nice to have the long handle. I really find it helps with placing the proper amount of product. It also has this little spatula on this side if you are a makeup artist and you want to scoop the product before you're applying it onto a client, but I haven't really used that side at all. I've just been using this side, and I did bend mine as well. It comes like straight, and I just bent it so that it's easier to dip into the pot. So what I'm gonna do is let's start with the ABH. You can see I've used a good chunk out of this guy here. I will just go ahead and do my brow how I normally do. So I dip the wand into the product. Sometimes if I feel like there's a little bit too much product on here, I'll just dab it onto the lid to take off any excess. And then I will go straight in. So I don't like to start right at the front of my brow because I feel like there's so much product in the wand when you first go in. I try to start more in the center, come out to the outside edge and just brush upwards. And then once there's less product on the brush, I'll come towards the front. Like so, voila, super easy. If you want to, you can then like press those hairs down to get a more laminated look, but I don't typically do that. And then what I'll do is just go in with a tinted brow gel. So right now I'm using the Glossier tinted brow gel. This is in the color brown, and just go right over top. So again, I don't like to start right in the front because then you're putting down the most product right at the front of the brow, which we don't really want. So I kind of start here in the center, come out towards the tail, and then once there's less product on the wand, I'll come in and do these little front hairs here. This is how I've been doing my brows every day for many months. I love it, and it's so quick and easy, and I've been doing such natural makeup on a day-to-day basis recently that this is just the perfect brow for that look, if you ask me. So let's try the e.l.f. on the other side. I did want to compare how much product is in each of these. The ABH has 8 grams and the e.l.f. has 8.8 grams. So there's actually more product in the e.l.f. one, which is nuts. The container actually looks smaller, so I was expecting, because of the price difference and because of the fact that it looks smaller, that there was going to be less in here, but nope, there's more. So one thing about the ABH product packaging, I just love it. I think it's so beautiful and chic. I remember when I did my review and first impression of this guy here, that was something that I really enjoyed about this, was the packaging. I would say the e.l.f. one is chic in its own way. It actually feels a bit heavier than the ABH. That could be because I've used half of the product in here by now, but it doesn't feel super lightweight or anything, and I think the black cap is really chic. So here's a little close-up. See, like with the light shining on this, all the little fingerprints. So if you don't like that, that may be an advantage to this packaging here. But otherwise, I'd say they're very similar. So I'm just gonna actually clean off this brush with my makeup brush cleaner to make sure it's nice and fresh and doesn't have any of the ABH left on it. And then I'm gonna go right in. So texture feels very similar. If anything, it might be a bit more firm. I remember when I first stuck my wand into the ABH one, it felt very soft. This I'd say is very similar, maybe just a bit firmer. I'm gonna do the same thing and just tap off any excess in the cap. And then let's go right in. So one thing that I really like about the ABH is that if you don't use too much product, it doesn't leave a waxy white cast on your brows. I see so many people walking around with these like white chunky brows. So that was something that I really liked about the ABH. And on first impression, I'm feeling like this is the same. I'm not seeing any chunky white bits right off the bat here. I'm feeling like I'm not getting quite as much lift out of my brow as I normally get. I may have patted off too much product into the cap, so I'm just gonna add a little bit more to see if I can just get that lift. Yep, that's a bit better. Because I did stick the other one down, I'm gonna do this one too. And then I'm gonna go in with the Glossier on top. Okay, so right off the bat, I will say there is definitely a difference in the formulation of these two products. I would not say they are dupes for one another. This side, which is the e.l.f. side, is definitely firmer and more waxy. I would guess, we'll see at the end of the night tonight, but I would guess that because of that, this one is gonna have a bit of a stronger hold. I'm actually just taking a clean mascara wand right now and combing through it because I felt like all of the brow hairs kind of stuck together and became like a huge clump of hair, and I like the brow to look more fluffy. So I'm just kind of combing through to get the look that I like. And yeah, now that I've done that, I would say they both look nearly identical. But yeah, I definitely will say that this one seems a little bit thicker, a little bit more waxy, whereas the ABH has more of a lighter consistency and kind of just, I don't know, combs through the brow hairs a little bit more easily. So I've got them now both shaped the way that I would normally do them, how I like them, and I'm gonna just leave them. We're gonna leave my makeup alone, just let them sit for the entire day, and we'll come back at the end of the day and just see how each one is holding, how each one is lasting, and we can give some final thoughts at that time. Hi! It has been many hours. It's 8:15 now, so I think my makeup's been on for like 7 or 8 hours, something like that. Speaking of, should I check the state of myself before I start literally filming a YouTube video? We're good. We are presentable, very dewy. But yeah, let's take a little peek at these brows, shall we? Okay, so right off the bat, my first impression is that the hairs on this side, I'm gonna zoom in for you guys, compared to the hairs on this side, have fallen more. And this is the side that I used the e.l.f. product in. So, my assumption was incorrect. I did think that because the wax was firmer, it was gonna have a stronger hold, but I would say that actually was not quite the case. And I do think that, yeah, these hairs, they all are still looking lifted. Even though they're not all still as lifted as they were before, they're all still separated and they're all still lifted and going in the right direction. Whereas over here, I can see some brow hairs kind of in the center of my brow here have fallen down and are now pointing like downwards. So the opposite direction of where I had brushed them. This is not a completely like perfect experiment as well. Like, I don't know, maybe I like brushed up against this brow with my hand or something, I don't know, but I would say that as of right now, the hold on the e.l.f. is not as strong as the hold on the ABH. So yeah, I mean, that totally makes sense. For the price difference, you would have to decide if that's worth it for you. Is it worth that extra coin? You decide. First impressions are always hard though. I never like to give like my final opinion on things after just trying them once. Actually, I feel like on this channel, I'm very good about trying things over the course of long periods of time and then updating you guys on it. I either do that in future Get Ready With Me or Shop My Stash videos or in my vlogs. So if you're new to my channel, definitely subscribe because I'll continue to use this guy over the next weeks and months, and we'll see if my opinion changes. As of right now, I do prefer the ABH just for that extra bit of hold, for that extra bit of definition that I feel like it's giving my brow hairs. But yeah, maybe this is my better brow, so maybe next time I'll have to try this on this side and see how I feel. But thank you guys so much for watching this video.